Alright guys, so we are going to start with some new stuff today. You can't tell there's new words on the board. We're going to talk about the characters, the setting, and the main story. Now, with those words being in mind, I know you guys don't know what they mean yet, but you're going to help me figure something out. We're going to figure it out together, okay? So, let's do a story about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Do you guys know that one? It's okay if you don't. Just follow along and we'll work it all out together, okay? So once upon a time, there were three bears who lived in a house in the forest. There was a great big father bear, a middle-sized mama bear, and a little baby bear. One morning, their breakfast porridge was too hot to eat, so they decided to go for a walk in the forest. While they were out, a little girl called Goldilocks came through the trees and found their house. She knocked on the door, but there was no answer, so she pushed it open and went inside. In front of her was a table with 3 chairs. One big chair, one medium chair, and one baby chair. And on the table there was 3 bowls of porridge and their spoons. Goldilocks was hungry and the porridge smelled really good. So Goldilocks hopped into the big chair. She found out it was too big and it was way too hard. And when she picked up the spoon, it was really heavy, but the porridge was too hot to eat. So she jumped into the medium-sized chair. She got in that chair. It was really, really soft. And the porridge was just too cold. So she jumped into the little chair. And the little chair was just right. And the porridge was also just right. This time, Goldilocks went upstairs. She found 3 beds. There was a great big bed, a middle-sized medium bed, and an itty-bitty tiny bed. The big bed was way too hard and far too big. The medium-sized bed was way too soft. So she climbed into the little bed and it was just right. And Goldilocks went to sleep. After a while, the 3 bears came back to their house and they noticed that their door was open. Papa Bear saw that someone had been in their chair, his chair. Mama Bear saw that someone was in her chair, and the baby bear saw that someone was in their chair. Then all 3 bears noticed that someone had eaten their porridge. So they went upstairs, and Father Bear saw that somebody was in his bed. Mama Bear saw that someone was in her bed. And the baby bear found somebody sleeping in his bed. He screamed so loud that Goldilocks woke up, and she jumped out of bed and ran out of the house. And the bears never saw her again. Alright guys, so if we think about the story, we're going to talk about some stuff, alright? So first we're going to go over the characters. So characters are what the story is about. It's a person, animal, creature, it doesn't matter. It's just what the story is about. So if we think, what do we think? Who was in the story? Who was the story about? Do we remember? Goldilocks, right. And then who else was in the story? There was Goldilocks and Papa Bear. And Mama Bear. Good job. And then what was the last little tiny bear? Baby Bear. Good job. Alright, the next thing we're going to go over is the setting. So, the setting is the time or place that the story was in. So if we think, it didn't really give us a time, did it? No, it didn't. But where were they in the story? The house. Yep, the bear's house. Do you remember where the bear's house was? The forest. Good job. Alright, and then our last one is going to be the main events. Now, the main events are like the important things that happen in the story. It's what gets our story moving along. What do you guys think was the main events of this story? What things happened that really got the story going? The chairs, yeah, that was first. Good job. And then what else? Yeah, the porridge. And then what was the last thing that Goldilocks went and did? The beds. Good job. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to fill out an anchor chart really quick with you guys. So if you remembered from me going over this, what was the characters? Do you remember? A person, animal, good job, or thing, yep. That, what is it about? Like what, the story, good job. And then if we draw a picture, we can use the story. What would we see to remember that it's a character? Goldilocks, yeah. All right, guys, and then we're going to do setting. So do you remember what I said the setting was? A time, or place, yeah. That the story takes place. So let's go ahead and put that on there. And then what could we draw for that one? If you see it, you'll remember, that's the setting. The house? Yeah, we can draw the house. And now the main events. What were those? The important things that happened in the story. Good job. Now what could we draw for that? Want to do the porridge? Yeah, we can do the porridge. All right, guys. Good job. All right, so now I'm going to give all of you guys one of these. And you're going to fill it out yourselves. You can copy what I have on the board. That's fine. You can come up with new pictures. I do want you guys to copy the definitions, though. So you guys go ahead and do this. Yep. Just write it in. All right. Good job, guys. And now I'm going to give you guys another one. And we're going to read another story. And you guys are going to fill it out as we go along. On your own, okay? Just a guess. I just want to see where you're at. Then we're going to talk about it with a friend. See if you guys agree. And then we're good to go. All right. So this story we're going to read is Little Red Riding Hood. So I'm going to read it. If you guys need me to stop, I'm going to stop and ask you guys some questions. But if you need me to pause because it's just a lot at one time, raise your hand. I'll be looking. And then we're just going to go ahead and get going. And then afterwards, we'll talk with friends. We'll check, see where we're at. Good? All right. So at the end, it's just reading Little Red Riding Hood and then asking them questions like, who was this? Where are they? What just happened? Just stuff like that. But I don't have time for that. That's basically it. Then they just fill out that worksheet. Thank you.